Are you new to fly casting and have trouble with open loop or tailing loop while casting? Or you don't have trouble casting tight loops yourself, but you do have hard time teaching it to someone else? If you say yes to any of these three situations, this video is for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Angling Focus. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a little trick to help you instantly get better at fly casting using this little tape. And that is coming right up. And stay tuned at the end of the videos for the bonus tips with two-handed rod. This tips will serve as a visual guide to help you or the person you're trying to teach fly casting to how to maintain the straight rod tip path while fall casting, and in turn creating that tight loop. I would like you to think of the rod tip as an extension of your hands. So if you can maintain that straight path while casting with your hands, you're going to be able to do the same thing or achieve the same thing with the rod tip. So in order to maintain that straight path of your hands, you have to be able to find the perfect balance between using the joints of your wrist and the elbow. And that is what this little tape trick is used for. And the crazy part is you can use this tape trick to practice your fly casting from the comfort of your home. So let me get inside and show you what it's all about. All right, so now that we're inside, here is the main part. First, take your tape, just tape it in a nice and open area of your home. Make sure to tape at the height you would normally be casting. You can perform this exercise using the handle sections of your rod or simply use your hand and it would work just fine. The goal of this exercise is to get your hand to move in a straight line using the tape on the wall as a reference. Sounds simple, right? But wait, there's more. In fly casting lexicon, this position is called key position, and the other end is called power stop position. I want you to take a note here how your hand should look like at key position. So start by relaxing your arm, okay, and your hands, and then slowly make the fist, like so. And here's what I want you to notice is that I'm not tilting my hands one way or another, but rather sit comfortably on top of my wrist. Most beginners tend to break their wrist this way at the key position, and the result is wide open loop. Here's how it looks like when you break your wrist at key position. And this is without breaking the wrist. The result is much smaller, more aerodynamic loop. Now let's talk about how your hand should look like at power stop position. At the power stop positions, I want your hand to look like this. Notice how this part of my hand goes perfectly in a straight line with the rest of the forearm. Notice how I actually break my wrist forward here. Putting your hand this way at the power stop positions allows for energy transfer, and this is where your line is being sent forward. You must break your wrist here. It's kind of like when you say, "You got it." And just fold back your index finger, stick out your thumb, and this is it. You know it's 2021 when you can teach fly casting with me. Here is how the hand should look like in real time while casting a very short cast. Notice how at this short distance, it is the wrist that does most of the work. The elbow barely moves. Remember to break your wrist at the power stop position, but not at the key position. This is how the cast look like with a full fly rod and reel setup. For longer casts, notice how both the wrist and the elbow joint really needs to work together, and that the tapes really make it easy to see if your hand is moving in a straight line, thus ensure both joints works perfectly in sync. Notice also with the fly rod handle how I only start breaking my wrist in about the last 1/3 of the path. Here is another angle of a long cast with a full fly rod and line setup. By moving your hand in a straight line, you minimize the chance of making tailing loop. And by not breaking your wrist at key position, you eliminate the chance of creating open loop. And as promised, here is the bonus tips of how you can improve your two-handed casting with the tape technique. Since there is no fault casting in two-handed style of casting, the orientations of your hand is going to change a bit. It is still going to be in a straight line, but instead of being level to the floor, it will tilt 45 degrees downward. Here in two-handed casting, my top hand is at the key position and my bottom hand is at the power stop position. Between the top hand, the bottom hand, and the tape, from profile view, this should look like a 45-degree triangle. Another difference is in the hand position. Remember how you should never break your wrist at the key position with one-handed rod? Well, that will change slightly with two-handed rod, simply because if you don't break your wrist here, your bottom rod handles will stick way up in front of you. And there is no more 45-degree triangle that we need to make a good cast. To fix that, you need to break your wrist of the top hand slightly, like this. Once you are ready, simply try to run your top hand as parallel as possible to the tape, and don't forget to start breaking your wrist 2/3 of the way into the cast, followed by a nice power stop. Let me show you again. Now let's talk about the bottom hand. Notice how my top hand is coming down in a straight line. At the same time, my bottom hand is being drawn towards the side of my abdomen in the curve. It is this curved trajectory of your bottom hand that will help you to get a nice crisp power stop at the end. If your bottom hand is drawn in a straight line towards your belly, you will see that your power stop will happen way too early in the cast instead of towards the end of the cast. I often finish the cast with the bottom rod handle rest gently on the side of my abdomen. By using the tape as a visual reference in this exercise, your top hand will come down in the straight line and your bottom hand will have no choice but to travel in a curved line. Here is the last sample of two-handed casting in action. So that would be it for today, guys. I hope you learned new things there with the little tape trick, and certainly hope that you're going to be more confident and that your casting going to improve the next time you go on the water. As always, guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.